Hello again, fellow hobbyists. This is Clint from Custom 3D Specialties. Today we're going to continue with the software installation and the bed leveling of the Halot One by Creality. So let's get into this. Hope everyone's been doing okay. So get your USB stick that comes with your printer. Put that in your computer or laptop. And we are going to download the Halot Box Windows 64 Alpha EXE. Again, make sure you hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, click yes, follow my channel, that way you can see all the upcoming content and get notified. So we'll hit install, we will hit agree, and yes, next. Just want to install it in Halot Box. Now this is going to take a minute, so I will take this time to turn our printer on. And there's Kuva. Okay, so software is still unloading. We'll take the cover off. We will get our big Allen wrench. We're going to loosen up all 4 of these screws. There we go. That's nice and loose. And looks like this is installed, so we will hit finish. We will close this. And that is opening. And there we go. We're at the Halot Box. Let's change our printer. We want to add printer. We're going to go Halot One. Add. Now I do not have the Sky, so I'm going to go back in and I'm going to go to Manage Printers. Go next to where it says Halot One. I'll click the Halot Sky, and I want to delete that. So now my only printer in the Creality Halot Box is the Halot One. Okay, in here. So let's go to Settings. We're gonna go to, close this a little bit. We will go to Move Z Axis. Let's go to Auto Homing. And our build plate starts to rise. Well, the arm. At this point, we can unscrew that. Make sure there's nothing on the bottom of your build plate. We can put it on and tighten it down. We can take out our vat. So this is almost auto-honed. We can take off a protective layer. Okay. And now we want to do the leveling process. So we will hit level, and it will start coming back down. Excuse me. You will grab your piece of paper. No, looks like you can't use just a regular full square piece of paper due to the fact of these curved brackets here. So you're going to want to get one that is somewhat close to the build plate and screen size. And again, this is your big Allen wrench. Out of the three you have, be the bigger one. Okay, plate's almost down. Make sure that that's tight. And now, put a little bit of pressure, and we tighten up our screws. Start with the right front corner. Left rear corner. Now, I'm not tightening them all the way, I'm just making them snug. Right rear corner. Left front corner. Well, all the time I'm putting a little bit of pressure holding down. Now we can go and tighten it up. Right front corner. Left back corner. Right back corner. Left front corner. Okay. And looks like I'm a little loose on this side. So we will loosen this back up again. See how much play we have on these. Okay. There's a fair amount of play back and forth there. So that will cause that to happen. Okay. So in this instance, we will tighten from one side first. Then we will tighten the other side. while pushing down a little harder. And see, that side's still a little loose. Okay. So I've had to do this on other printers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these screws all the way out. And what we'll do, let me set this down. Let me grab a pair of scissors. Okay, so I'm just going to take and clean this paper up real quick. Just to eliminate that as an issue. So there we go. I'm going to cut this down. Okay, so that's a little better. Now, everybody gets these cards in the mail, the kind of cardboard that are coated. So, we're just going to take and cut a piece off. And you're going to grab your build plate and your attachment piece, and you're just going to take and, yep. So one of those will fit. I'm pretty close to size here. So I'm just going to cut a little bit off. Okay. And then I'll line it up like so. I'll push it back down. Make sure you're... Let me do that again. So you take your little piece that you just cut, right here. You take your platform, and then you'll take a piece that it mounts to, put this over where the holes go, and you take your platform and you put it on the way it's supposed to go, and you pinch that piece of paper in there. Make sure it stays over the holes. It may take you a try or two. You may have to pull it out and put it on this piece and slide it in. Seems like that's working a little better. But now you don't have no play in there. And it's still loose enough that it'll move when you need it to, for leveling. So now we put our screws back in. And if you're worried about it being tight and it not going up when it comes down, well, I'll show you the trick to this. Okay, so we put those in. Now we're on the side with the cardboard. What we're going to do is we're going to take our small Allen wrench and we're just going to take and find where the hole is and push it through. And same thing, find where the hole is, push it through, and then we can thread our screws in. Get the other Allen wrench. Where did it go? Where did it go? There it is. I found it. Okay. Okay. Let's get this one going. Take the big one, poke the hole a little more. I lost the screw under the printer. Come on. There you are. Screw those in. Just make sure not to cross thread the threads in. Okay, leave it a little loose. I'm going to take this one back out because that don't feel right. Okay. There we go. So screw them back in, but don't tighten them all the way down. So see, this does still move. You see, this does still move. So what we're going to want to do, that's with the build plate all the way down. If they were loose, without this spacer in there, this is how it would hang. Now if you're worried about when it's coming down and it hitting the screen and this not going up, then what I do is I push this all the way down as far as it can go so that it's squished closed. Now it's going to hold it up there. Obviously your printer won't have this down like I do, because I did this on the fly. If you do that first, you won't be in this situation. So now you can see the screws are loose and it's holding it up. So I can adjust my paper. Now I can push this down. Now I can go and tighten up my right front, my left back, my right back, my left front. Now I can go and tighten them up all the way. And that's it. Now you hit back. You hit move axis or Z axis movement. You go to auto home. It will lift this back up. You can pull your paper out. Make sure that your FEP is clean. Sorry about that. You didn't see me wiping it out. And when this is going back up, you can put this back in. Make sure you go all the way back to your resting spot. Put your screws down. I always tighten mine up at the same time when it comes down to actually tightening it down. So I get them both close. So it feels like they're grabbing at the same time and tighten at the same time. That way it don't shift one way or the other. We take our resin. This will be my first time using Creality resin. Make sure you shake it up nice and good. Let that sit for a minute so everything drips off of the lid and settles, and the air bubbles that you just put in there from shaking it kind of stabilize. I am using the Creality Standard Resin Gray. So while that's settling, what we can do here in the computer is we can load up our first test file. So we will go over to the folder. Okay, so I guess it's not in there. So we'll go find it. So we will open up Google. And we will type in resin. Sorry, I'm gonna get a lot of these popping up here, unfortunately. So now resin XP2 validation file. And when you type this up, you're gonna get a couple videos that come up along with some information. One of the main ones that come up is this one here, how to dial in any resin printer for a perfect print. 3D Print Farm does very good videos. I recommend watching his videos. I watch his videos. And there's also, I'm pretty sure, where is it? Facebook, Reddit. Okay. We will just go to his video just because I know he has a tag to it in the bottom of his video. So I will pause this. And we will go down into...
You never know when inspiration will...
Pause that. And where is the more? There it is, show more. And right here, he has the link. So that is actually in the GitHub Phone Stoners resin. And looks like it downloaded. So we can close this and we can open Halot box back up. We can open our search for file. We can go to downloads and here's my file. And there it is. So we don't want to move it, that's fine. Fine scaling, don't need to rotate, don't need to clone, don't need to support it, don't need to put holes, don't need to hollow it. Let's go see about, oh, you can import model here too. Okay, let's go see about print settings. Alright, consumables, we have normal, layer height. I'm a big fan of 0.03. Not sure what B offset is. B offset thickness. B offset focal point. I'm just going to turn that off. XY compensation. Well, you know what? I'll just leave everything on as is. Anti-aliasing's enabled. Okay, well. I'm not sure what my normal settings are here. So that is slicing. Let's export to local. And we will go to the drive. And that's finished. We can minimize, we can eject. So, I'm not sure how that's gonna go. I really didn't like how the settings were in there. Let's see if Lychee Slicer has the Halot One in there, just in case. So then we can put our USB in the printer. Can go back. We will go, okay, looks like we set our parameters here. well, let's leave it as is. We'll try it with what settings they send with their, in the printer with the resin. Let's go back. Let's go File. Here's our validation file. And there it's loading. So our resin should be settled by now. We can take and pour some in. I poured just enough to cover the bottom with a little extra, just in case we have a failure. We don't have that much resin to take out. And it says it's going to take 20 minutes. Let's hit start. Let's see what happens. Build plate's going to start coming down. And while that's doing that, I am going to check in Lychee here. And let's see if the Halot One is in here. I'm just gonna close this. Let's go printers. Don't mind my list of printers. We want to go add a printer. And we want to go Creality. Oh, look, yes, there it is. I'm a little bit more familiar with Lychee than I am with Halot Box, obviously. Let's go into these settings here. Halot One, okay, all that looks fine. So let's go set up my normal settings. Which actually what I want to do here. Alright, so we're all the way down. And hopefully we hear a click on the first layer. So I want to set this up. Default, 50 UM. Tag this to the Creality Halot One. So copy. So now I can change everything here. So brand is going to be Creality. I did hear a release. That was good. Name is going to be standard, and color is going to be gray. Okay. And I'm gonna mark this one as my test profile, because I will be changing this all around. And then once I find my good settings, I will save the copy and put that as a master. So I'm going to change this. I like my layer thickness at 30. We want to leave X, Y, and Z scale at 100. Burn-in layers. This I usually have 2 or 3. What does it say? Change these values to compensate for the resin shrinkage expansion, but also the elephant's foot effect. Okay, so yes, I do not need to mess with compensation. Not yet, at least. Well, I guess that looks like that is all there is for settings. Okay, so now I have my settings saved here. Creality, standard gray, 30 test. We're on layer 11. Sounds like I still might be hearing a release. Yes, I am. I'm still hearing a release. So we're almost there. It'd be nice if it showed you like how the other ones do, kind of. I like how it shows the image, but if it showed a 3-way image, maybe the top, the side, and then actually what is being printed, what layer. And we are on the last layer now. So let's hope we don't have to use this again. I'll put these back in the bag. I'll put this in the bag just in case. Need to make another one later. And it looks like we have a successful print. So loosen this up. We will let that drain for a minute. I will have to print off a leveling, a drain platform leveler, so that you can take this off and turn it. It would be nice if all printers came with one. You know, there is a big community that do marvelous jobs at making various different styles. So this goes all the way to the top. I will say that is a long way for that resin to drip, and that could cause splashing, depending on how full your vat is also, which is another reason I do not fill my vat all the way. Right now I am literally halfway between the bottom and the first line. I use one of these. This is just a regular baking pan you get from your normal dollar store. They work very nice, just for the simple fact of once it gets dirty, you can just throw it away. It's only $1. But they last me a while, especially if you put a little tissue in the bottom like this. Alright, there we go. So you can see how much resin is actually does pool up and comes off, and that you can save and reuse just by letting it drip for a couple minutes and holding it on an angle. Alright, so then let's see how this comes off. I just do a couple taps. Ah, very nice. Put that back up there. Now we will get our alcohol. We can grab our print. We'll swish it around a little bit. So, not bad at all. Maybe just slightly overexposed. I will show you what I see in a minute. Let me try this off. Okay. So let's see if I can get this to focus in here. Alright, so you have the holes. First the pegs, you want to count those, see if they're equal. And if they're not, depending on which one you have more of, tells you which way you have to go, whether it's up or down in exposure time. So right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now let's count the holes. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I can't really see the last one. There's just a little dimple. So we're equal, 12 and 12. So that's pretty good. These lines, you want it to look like the top bar will slide into the bottom slot. These look a little bigger, and the bottoms look a little pushed in. And then your hourglass right here, that you want to make sure that the 3 points are touching. but not over touching. And you can tell that those are a little bit touching more than what should be. But using factory settings and never using Creality resin before, never using Halot box, and the first print to come off of this printer, that is good. Now I can see where if I would not have put this shim in here, that I could have had some issues of this side or one of the sides of the plate being up and the print not sticking to the bottom. So overall, unboxing, packed very well. The first print I was very satisfied with. The leveling of the plate, that was fairly easy, minus something that I know is somewhat of an issue with this horseshoe type leveling system, is that you always get a big gap here, and when you pinch these together, it takes and turns and twists your plate. Like I said, my workaround around that is taking a card or from the mail or a playing card, something along them lines. Sometimes even just a piece of paper or a piece of FEP. It all depends on how much gap you have here and how much space you have to take up on what kind of shim you use. Okay, so let's go over some of the options that are in the printer here. So we have our file button. This will bring up all of our files. We have our settings tab or button. We have our printing parameter settings. We have our clean vat. Let's see what that is. Whoop. Well, I'm gonna let it run now. Do not push the clean vat button if you have resin in your vat and you don't need to, because this engages the cleaning of the vat, which turns the light on and is now curing the resin that is in my vat. I did not know that. I thought there was going to be another safety screen before that where it asked you, do you want to clean or confirm? So yeah, that is interesting. We know what the Z-axis movement does. We have system settings. We have language. We have refresh. And we have WinLAN. And service just gives you the website, the email, and the WhatsApp phone number. So now, seeing as how in my last print, I know I was a little overexposed on my normal exposure time. So I'm going to go down to 2.8 maybe. We were at 3. Okay. It's a very touchy slide bar here. So we'll try 2.8 seconds. Light off delay is 4, bottom exposure is 40. That did grip on pretty good, so we'll leave that at that. And I'm gonna put this up to 8 just because I like my bottom lifting distance a little more to make sure I clear the fat. So I'm going to go confirm, and that should be good. So now I'm going to send another test file. And what I'm going to send is this P-Poly resin test 2021. And maybe I'm not. She disappeared. Okay, so let's go to import models. Let's go grab this file. Let's rotate it. We just want to rotate the Z, and we want to go down. We want to go to 90. That should be good. Let's just make sure we are centered and we are on the bottom. And let's go to slice. Everything seemed to work fine in here last time, so I will just leave it as is and see how long this is going to take. Put our USB stick in the computer. But for now, we have to get that cured resin out of the vat from accidentally hitting the cure button or the clean button. Not knowing that it was going to engage the cleaning process right away. Get my gloves on. Okay. Now the non-fun part of resin printing, when you have to clean a mistake out of your vat. So what I normally do is I'll make a fist and I'll just kind of roll my hand on the bottom, and hopefully it pops a corner up. That I will be able to grab with the spatula. So let's see if we can get it. Okay. Normally when you do this, you want to put an old support, or there's a couple files on Thingiverse that you can print that actually go inside the resin. There we go. And then that way you don't have to put your palm on the bottom. You can just pull and peel it right up. So put that back down. I kind of like the screw handles, but I kind of don't. I'm still kind of mixed on them. One thing I do see is there is no pour spout. So pouring your resin back out of here may seem to be a challenge. So I'm going to add a little more resin in here. Yep. Okay. So that's all good. Okay, so these are tight. This is all the way on. That's tight. That's checked. So now let's go back down to here. We're gonna have to go to local. This is gonna take roughly 2.5 hours. And we wanna go down to our USB drive. And we're gonna go save. So it is now saving. And it is finished. We can close. And we can go down here and eject the USB. Now close this, put this in the printer. We'll go to File and P-Poly Resin Test. Now see, there's a double click for the file confirmation to load the file. But there's not a double click or a confirmation for the clean screen or clean vat. Well, let's hit start and we will let this go. Oh, so now this on screen is saying 9 hours and 20 minutes. So I don't think I will leave the video record for 9 hours and 20 minutes. I know this is just an estimate. I will be doing some live streams where I just let it run and go like you've seen with my FDM printers. But for now, I guess we'll say goodbye. Take care. Don't forget to like and subscribe.